You saw the title and was ready to grab the pitchforks to purge me.
Dandadan is the best manga ever. This creator sucks.
I'm not saying Dandadan is bad or anything, just think that Scary Campus College University might be better. The story takes place at a college, a place where people might find true love. It's the period of your life where you find a sense of belonging. And an opportunity to experiment with people you meet since you probably won't see them after you graduate.
All we did was watch each other masturbate. That's not gay or anything. We said so, right?
That's right, it's just harmless experimenting.
Written by Nagashi Kohei, who has most notably written Hoshino Miwo Subute. It is a supernatural and horror manga and it is for a mature audience. The manga touches on sensitive topics which might be uncomfortable to some readers, so be warned. I'll be spoiling the manga, so if you're not into that, click off now. In the first chapter, you meet Makina Chigashi, who is at a party with shady dudes trying to pick up chicks by getting them drunk. Human trash, basically. She decides to get some fresh air and meet Fujimiya. They start having a conversation and her heart starts to flutter. She bursts out, trying to catch his attention before she heads back into the party. They hit it off and he asks if he could take her to a quieter place. When I first read it, my reaction was like,
oh no.
Then he proceeds to bring her to the ruins and I'm like,
Not like this.
Flashbacks from the manga that scarred me for life. Turns out, he just wants her to be there with him to see ghosts. They don't see anything except when Chigurashi sees a couple of titans. But she thought her mind was playing tricks on her. They exchanged contacts and she was fangirling as if she saw BTS on the street or something. Not you. She bumped into Fujimiya with one of my favorite panels in the first chapter. Like, wow. Her health starts getting weaker and the school doctor recommends she sees Makube Kaoru, who is the manga's Giga Chat and second protagonist. Not this dude, thank god. He makes an entrance, he has tattoos, and she immediately assumes she was going to be sold away. He gestures to her and I didn't realize I could laugh at a picture of hands. She tells him the problems she has been facing and he does this, which happens quite a lot, but it's cool as heck.
Give me 1 second.
Let me look up what's a damage report. Oh, so that's what it means. Later on, the door behind Chigurashi starts to rattle and he claps his hand, the ghost disappears and all he got was a nosebleed. What a first chapter. As much as I'm biased because I love the premise, the story and the Giga Chat of a man, which is the MMC, the male main character, let's talk about the characters. Dear author, please fix Chigurashi, I beg you. As much as I want to avoid the red flags in the manga, sometimes a decision can be really frustrating. Like, people make mistakes, I get it. She dealt with so much with the supernatural.
The next day,
she decides to follow Fujimiya to another haunted place, like what? And we are going deep into spoiler territory here, but she gets a part-time job and you guessed it, another paranormal encounter. So instead of being a sane person and going straight to the MMC for advice and to solve the problem for her, she decides to believe in the heart of the cards and try to solve it herself.
I have to believe that it holds some secret strategy. This card is useless.
I'm not saying it's not wrong to try to solve it herself or anything, but imagine joining a chess tournament and you only know how to play checkers. Doesn't make any sense. Alright, next is the art with the notebook. She happens to pick up a notebook from the ground. It happens to have past year exam questions on it and she realizes it's a magic notebook. Let me guess, she didn't go to the man, which is Makube. She decides to keep it even if it costs her a whole load of problems. Like what? As much as I would like to go on, let's go to the next character, which is Makube, the only saving grace, I think, in the manga. First of all, he's like Guts from Berserk if you have read it. Second of all, he is constantly picking up the slack left by Chigurashi and saving her constantly. In chapter 18, you finally find hints on his backstory where the cool thing that he does with the damage report. There are 10 unresolved damage reports which he has to solve, so basically One Piece but like 10 times. Although he portrays a hard demeanor, like look at his expressions, there's this, and it goes on and on. He has a soft side as well. It's still pretty early, so let's see where the author goes with his character. Next are the side characters. So the main ones are like this dude, like Fujimiya, who's like the female main character's love interest, a pretty boy who's dense as hell, and I'm calling it now folks, he is gonna have some backstory where we find out why he is so interested in the supernatural. Next is Soa Nene. She's introduced as a gloomy character, but we soon find out she's better than the FMC. She deals with Chigarashi's bullshit and is a really likable character and probably the most normal one by far. I like that she has a happy-go-lucky personality with a bit of brains, unlike Chigarashi. One of my favorite moments about her character was when she negotiated her salary for her and Chigarashi, and that was...
This is not legal. This is not legal.
Yeah. Next is a mysterious character called Yeima Aiko who, like the MMC, has supernatural powers. So this tells me that there are other people with these powers, which is pretty interesting. Couple of panels talk about a relationship with the MMC, which just adds on to the mystery. Though she's definitely a villain.
He thinks she's all innocent and sweet, but I know that she's an evil bitch.
I'm gonna be talking about the premise and the art, so I'm not someone that is like an expert on anything, but I'm like going to show you some panels. Tell me this isn't good art. I haven't read his previous work, but there was a stark improvement in the art in Hoshinome, Subute, and Scary Campus College University. As someone who loved works from Junji Ito and curious about ghosts, this was up my alley. Oh, and pretty random, but walking around your college or university past 1 AM is a vibe. Especially if there are ghost stories like a staircase or toilet to check out. Disclaimer, I won't be liable for any accidents that might occur, but it's worth it. Now let's talk about the comparison between Dandadan and Scary Campus College University. I dropped Dandadan for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is when I read Dandadan, I honestly feel the randomness and wackiness of the series are overwhelming. After reading it, it kind of feels like post-nut clarity because my reaction would be, what the hell did I just read, or why the hell did I read it? I'm unsure where the story is going half the time. Aliens and ghosts, the main character's balls are gold, so what? I think it could have been more explicit in the end goal of the story, like how Scary Campus College University does it, but it's a matter of personal preference. This might sound cringy, but I prefer a manga or manhwa that teaches you something rather than a shit show adventure. I get the appeal, it is mysterious and you don't know what to expect, but the fact that I dropped it means it couldn't hold my attention. As someone who has followed long-running mangas like One Piece and Hajime no Ippo, plus manhwas like Windbreaker, Dandadan, to me, is wasted potential. Of course, there are good points to Dandadan, one of which is like being in a fever dream when you read it. It has a simplistic art style with a mix of creepy monster designs and light-hearted visuals pleasing to the eye. It has a lot going for it, so let's just pray it doesn't waste it. Scary Campus College University is still young and has its fair shares of critics as well, mainly Chigarashi, but it's on the right track. My personal opinion is that Scary Campus College University is a 9 out of 10. However, the sensitive topics might be off-putting to some, so be warned. Hope you enjoyed the video. I don't see anyone covering it, and I really think it's a hidden gem and have the potential to be better than Dandadan. Like this video, comment your thoughts on it, or subscribe. Thanks for watching.